Coming up on DITV, the Daily Iowan sat down with actress Diane Guerrero to talk immigration.
And later, we show you how one student is taking her love of writing into her own hands.
Baseball might have been rained out last night, but I have some special coverage on former Hawkeyes kicking it up and the pros coming up in sports.
You can't put away your umbrella just yet, but you can soon. Stay tuned for weather.
All that and more is coming up in this Monday, May 1st edition of DITV.
Don't click away, it all starts now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Becca Scadden.
At least 2 are dead and 4 are injured after a shooting last night at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Authorities swept through the campus looking for students and staff taking shelter after shots were fired near the school's Kennedy building. 2 of the injured are reported to have life-threatening injuries. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department says they have 1 suspect in custody, but have not yet publicly identified him.
Last night, Orange is the New Black star Diane Guerrero came to the Iowa Memorial Union to talk about her experiences with immigration. Last night, Daily Iowan reporters sat down with Guerrero and has more on the interview. Good morning, Josie.
Good morning.
So, Josie, what was it like sitting down and speaking with Guerrero?
Yeah, it was really inspiring. It was awesome to see just how relaxed and normal Diane was when speaking one-on-one to the media. She really is a super passionate person who genuinely just wants to do good in the world, and that really came through during our interview. I definitely came out feeling really empowered.
So what messages and ideas is Guerrero looking to spread?
Yeah, so Diane came to the UI as part of the lecture series. She was actually the last one in their series this year, and she was speaking on her book, her memoir. Which details how her family was deported to Colombia when she was 14, and she was left behind since she was born in America. So ever since, she's been an advocate for immigration help centers and immigration reform, and has been doing a lot of work to educate families about their rights and speaking publicly about her own experiences growing up in the U.S. as the daughter of undocumented parents.
Josie Fischel's live in the newsroom, thank you. For more on Guerrero's campus visit, make sure to pick up a copy of the print edition of the Daily Iowan on stands now.
After announcing his run for presidency last week, former Vice President Joe Biden is in the midst of his first campaign stops in Iowa. Last night, Biden stopped in Dubuque and Cedar Rapids. In Cedar Rapids, Biden touched on what he is looking to focus on if elected president.
Folks, on a serious note, you all know in your gut. You all know in your gut that this election for president is different. It's different than any election we've gone through, not because I'm running, it's different. And the reason it's different is the very core values of our nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy. Everything that's made America, America is at stake. We can repair now, God willing, we win, or what we've gone through. And we're going to be able to get back together, God willing, our international partnerships.
And this afternoon, Biden will be making his way to Big Grove Brewery in Iowa City. Taking place at 12:15, this will be Biden's last Eastern Iowa stop before he finishes his visit to Iowa in Des Moines later tonight. Make sure to tune in to DITV tomorrow as we give you a recap of today's event.
After years as an attorney in Iowa City, University of Iowa alum Laura Burgas announced her campaign for city council. Working in both North Liberty and Iowa City, along with graduating high school and college in Iowa City, Burgas says she's been interested in local government for a very long time. Burgas plans on focusing on affordable housing, economic development, and transportation during her campaign, and hopes that her campaign can unite a variety of ideas in Iowa City.
With the steadily rising prison population in Iowa, both Democrats and Republicans in the Iowa State House are looking for criminal justice reform. Passing a nearly unanimous bipartisan vote, a criminal justice omnibus package has passed the 2019 legislative season. This would include measures that defer some crimes from one's records, reducing sentences for Class B felonies, and allowing a judge to oppose a mandatory minimum sentence. About 8,500 people are currently incarcerated in the state of Iowa. The general fund for Iowa prisons in the 2019 fiscal year is about $380 million.
Since March of 2018, Iowa City has reported a 30% increase in recycling rates. The growth in the recycling is thought to be an effect of the new recycling carts that were added to the streets in December of 2018. The carts were issued in an effort to help safely transport recyclables along with maximizing capacity. The new carts were also issued wheels, which help prevent heavy lifting at curbsides. Although more plans are in place to increase recycling rates, more growth is not promised.
Well, Becca, it's the 1st of May, it's your birthday, and I wish we had sunnier weather for you.
You know, Kaylin, I was really hoping we might see some sunshine today, but hopefully at some point this week it might come out. We're going to toss it over to Abby in the weather studio with more on that.
Thank you, ladies. And yes, as all of us know, these past few days have been pretty wet and gloomy, which will continue throughout next week, but we do get to see a little glimpse of sun here and there. As for this morning, we've got some cloudy skies and the high reaching 62 degrees, which is a big jump in temperature from the past couple days. But tonight we do see more of those thunderstorms with an 80% chance of those developing in the night with a low of 49 degrees. Going into the extended forecast, Thursday is going to be right around that lower 60s range with a high at 62 and a 70% chance of those showers in the morning. But those should dissipate before the night where the low will drop down to 43. The weekend seems to be less gloomy with Friday drying things up with some partly cloudy skies, a high of 64 and a low of 45. Saturday is even warmer with the high reaching 71 degrees and sunny skies all day before that low drops down to 50 degrees. Sunday, the high is still going to be in the upper 60s, but that sun does disappear again, and we see a 50% chance of those showers early in the day, but just some cloudy skies at that night before the low hits 44 degrees. I'll wrap up this forecast with Monday, which is going to start off with mostly cloudy skies and a high in the mid-60s, but we'll end with a 50% chance of those showers coming back that night with the low dropping down to the lower 50s. Although we do see a bit of rain next week, I know a lot of students are going to be spending their time studying for finals anyway, so let's get our taste for sun and then finish strong. Back to you ladies at the desk.
After an entire semester of editing, one student-ran publication is celebrating its 3rd annual release. You saw her earlier in the show, but DITV reporter Abby Nopolis is back with more.
Year in a row, the University of Iowa's Magid Center for Undergraduate Writing will release its published version of the Iowa Chapbook Prize. The 8 published pieces, all submitted by undergraduates, will make their debut at Iowa City bookstore Prairie Lights. However, in addition to the writer, undergraduates enrolled in the publishing practicum at the University of Iowa have played a big role in the prize as well.
We solicit creative writing pieces from students in colleges all over the state of Iowa, and then the students in that class choose the pieces, they edit the pieces, and then they create little books that we then print and publish, and we're going to give them away for free at the launch.
With a maximum of 25 pages double-spaced, the students were looking for original pieces that were bold, experimental, and quite frankly, just different.
So the piece that I chose ended up being really brave in its content, I think. It was very unflinching in its story, and that's kind of what we went for with all of the pieces.
To hear the ratings from the Iowa Chapbook Prize, visit Prairie Lights on May 4th at 5 p.m. Reporting from Prairie Lights, this is Abby Nopolis for DITV.
3 University of Iowa physicians have taken a break from their time with the UI sports medicine staff to help take care of Olympic athletes. Physicians Mederick Hall, Brett Markison, and Andrew Peterson have all been volunteering with the Olympics and will be coming back to Iowa in 2020. The 3 physicians were chosen for this opportunity because of their skills and hard work throughout their time. The 3 physicians have worked with wrestling, ski, and triathlon athletes. And for more on their Olympic work, head over to dailyiowan.com.
Well, Kaylin, it sounds like the rain yesterday was not too great for the softball team.
Yes, it definitely could have gone better to them, but let's toss it over to sports for a full rundown.
Yeah, guys, Iowa softball traveled up to Cedar Falls to face Northern Iowa last week for a midweek non-conference game. However, before the game, there was a moment of silence for former UNI Panther softball player Michaela Redinger, who was killed in a highway shooting Sunday morning. Iowa catcher Abby Lean also presented the Panther team with a bouquet of flowers. The Panthers ended up winning this one 4-2, forcing the Hawkeyes to drop every game against in-state schools. Next up, Iowa hosts Ohio State for a 3-game homestand this weekend, with first pitch on Friday at 5:30. As you saw, Iowa's softball game against Northern Iowa actually had to be moved inside the Unidome to combat that rainy weather. And unfortunately, Iowa did not have the luxury of an indoor stadium where the baseball team could have played their game against Western Illinois last night. The game, which was postponed due to all the rain, will instead be played tonight at 6:05 p.m. at Duane Banks Field. Iowa was originally scheduled to play Northwestern in a non-conference game tonight in Rosemont, Illinois, but that game has been canceled and will not be made up. Staying on the baseball train, a couple Hawkeyes have made names for themselves in the minor leagues. We have DITV sports reporter Kimberly Bates live in the newsroom with more. Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning.
So, now that we are a full month into Major League play, how are some of those former Hawks doing in the minor leagues?
So it seems that we've seen a lot of advancement from our former guys, but the main one that we're looking at is Joel Booker. Booker played for the Hawkeyes in 2015 and 2016, and he was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the 22nd round in 2016. Booker started his season this year in the AA affiliate of the White Sox in Birmingham, but after only 20 games, he led the Southern League with a .351 batting average, and he was already promoted to the AAA in Charlotte, and he made his debut in Charlotte just this past Sunday. Some other Hawkeyes that we're seeing advancements from are Nick Allgaier, Nick Gallagher, Mason McCoy, and Jake Adams, who have all been promoted to the Class A Advanced, and Robert Newstrom, who has been promoted to his Single A affiliate instead of his rookie league.
Thanks, Kimberly. Now, as Kimberly mentioned earlier, there are several Hawkeyes who found success in baseball long after their days playing at Duane Banks. DITV caught up with a former Iowa baseball player and current minor league baseball player, Blake Hickman, to see why Iowa has a strong track record of giving their guys a chance to play professionally, which he credits to what the Iowa coaches have taught him.
College and playing under those coaches, they taught me to play the right way. Through high school, I was kind of like that guy who was very hot-headed, and I got humbled going into college, you know, playing against some of the best talent in the country. So playing under those guys, they made me grow a lot as a man and on and off the field. So.
Thanks to what his coaches have taught him at Iowa, Hickman is now a pitcher down in North Carolina for the Winston-Salem Dash, the Class A Advanced affiliate of the Chicago White Sox, and he was actually teammates with Joel Booker for a bit. Now, we'll end today by mentioning that Big Ten League office announced yesterday that junior Alex Shockey was named Big Ten Men's Golfer of the Year. Shockey led Iowa this year with 5 top 10 finishes and broke a school record at the Hawkeye Invitational, where he finished 14 strokes under par. He finished the regular season as the 43rd ranked golfer in the country, according to Golf Week, and led Iowa this season with 16 rounds at or below par. Other Hawkeyes that were recognized were junior Benton Weinberg, who earned second team All-Big Ten, and senior Aaron DiNucci, who won the Iowa Men's Golf Big Ten Sportsmanship Award. That's all I have today in the sports studio, but come back tomorrow for more from the Drake Relays from this past weekend. Becca and Kaylin, back to you at the desk.
Thank you for tuning in to this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
Make sure to follow the Daily Iowan on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all your latest updates.
If you're on the run, the print edition of the news is on stands now. For DITV, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Kaylin Cluck. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Same time, same place.
DITV is celebrating their achievements from the 2019 Iowa Broadcast News Association Awards, being named the #1 college news station in Iowa. The IBNAs also recognized DITV with Best Sportscast featuring Lucy Rodine and Natalie Accapetti, Best Weather Coverage from DITV's Weather Team, a first-place finish in spot news coverage by Noah Gowdy, a second-place finish for an in-depth series by Bo Bowman, second and third-place finishes for Best Newscast produced by Anthony Caligiuri and Becca Scadden, feature reporting and political coverage by Sydney Zatz, excellence in reporting, general reporting, and public affairs by Caitlin Cluck. And finally, excellence in anchoring featuring Anthony Caligiuri, Mackenzie Cooper, and Becca Scadden. We'd like to thank the University of Iowa community and viewers like you for your continued support of DITV.